morning. It's another Thursday morning, and boy, I haven't been here very often. This group is not growing really large right now. There are a few people in here. There are 35 people in here, but I thought I'd share anyway because um, it's good for me to look at topics to discuss. And the topic that came up this week was imposter syndrome. One of my favorite PLR providers who provides quality content, Alice Seba and her team, have 5 free articles that they're giving away. And though I use PLR and I'll add my voice and make it my own, I wanted to talk about my experience. And I forget when exactly I wrote this blog post. I take the dates off of them. But I created a blog post some time ago about imposter syndrome. I was really feeling it. And for me, I had to explore it for a while through research and meditation and just asking myself what's going on, because it shows up for me in many different ways. Let me look at my list here. I talk about it. I was, back in the days when COVID was really, really, really strong, when we were all hiding in our houses, and it showed up as perhaps procrastination. It was lack of confidence. It was confusion about what I was really doing, what I was talking about. For me, it hit pretty hard in a series of ways. So sometimes fear creeps in. Sometimes it slaps me in the face. It depends on what I'm talking about, or knocks me off my mojo. Anyway, imposter syndrome. We all experience it. I got started looking at searching that topic on YouTube. And there are tons of people talking about how imposter syndrome affects them and what to do about it. And I watched several of the videos. In doing that, I came up with some things tips or ways that help me slog through it and get over it. It still hits. It just hit the other day when I had to turn in an expense report for a company that I've been working with. And I thought, whoa, I should have kept them up on how expensive this was getting. But I hadn't done that. I hadn't kept up on it. So I felt shame around it. It was, anyway, details, keeping the details and keeping up front. So procrastination versus imposter syndrome. The experience is different with procrastination. And I write a bit about that. The motivation is still there with imposter syndrome for me. I need to reassure myself that I'm doing a good job, that I'm worth it, that I have value, that I'm going to go out there. And maybe it gets down to that bottom line stuff around, do I want people to like me? Well, sometimes they're going to like me, sometimes they're not going to like me. Sometimes you're going to appreciate what I do, sometimes you're not going to appreciate what I do. You get on my list, you get off my list. It's what happens when you're working business and trying to help people. And that's my whole point, is I'm trying to help. This is my life, my love, my passion is making sure that technology works for you. So back to the article. I'm going to put the link in the comments below of my article, and I took the date off for some reason or other. I took the dates off my post that way. I did it as a solution to looking like I haven't written in a while. They're up there. They're evergreen content. So what is imposter syndrome? There are lots of definitions, and there's several in the TED Talks that I watched. But for me, imposter syndrome shows up as not feeling good enough. Like my stuff isn't good enough, they're better experts than I am, and that people might call me out on it, call me a fraud. Why is she calling herself an expert on what she does? So that lack of confidence in myself and my skills. And it shows up with undercharging. It shows up with anxiety, like, are they really going to think I've done a good job? So self-doubt. There's always more than I can learn. So I overthink. Rather than tackle a project, I'll get in and I'll say, I'll do more research. I'll figure this out. I'll learn more. So I'm always learning. I love learning. But procrastination and imposter syndrome, that shows up in that way for me. And then sometimes the final one that I posted in my post was avoiding risk, or looking at the awkwardness in unpleasant situations, conflict, disputing whether I want to have you as a client or not, Do we work well together? Sometimes it works easily, gracefully, and other times imposter syndrome creeps in there and that self-doubt shows up. So I listed 8 tips to overcome imposter syndrome. For me, it's creating a realistic, doable goal and setting timelines. By realistic goals, I can set I have friends who watch me make brain dump lists of things I've got to get done. Those aren't realistic. Those are tons of things. They're dreams. They're things that I know I could be doing. But what are the priorities? What are the most important things to do? So number 2 is to prioritize the list. Set aside those things that I'll do later at some other time. And then number 3 is doing the hard things first. Rather than doing my social media first, I love doing the social media and talking to people and setting up posts and doing the design. Pick the hard things. What do I have to get done? I have to get that written, and doing that first is key and important. Giving myself project deadlines. Monday I try and set up my Monday motivation, my Monday list, and promise myself by Friday, these are my Friday finishers. I'm going to have this done by gosh or by golly. I haven't said that in a while. Okay, number 5, clear processes for pricing and client qualification. I used to pride myself in that I'm doing this by the seat of my pants. Well, if I set up the processes, it's much easier, and there's more security and more definition of this is what I do, this is what I charge, and this is how long I expect it to take. To document the thing so that it's real easy to go back and I don't have to relearn it each time. And then number 6, get those systems in place to get things done. Now, I have not always been a good systematizer, and because I have flown by the seat of my pants, I have been able to do things randomly, chaotically. I call them random chaotic as my style. I don't like that anymore. I need to have the systems in place. This is what we do and this is how we do it. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to delegate and get somebody else to do it for you in a way that you want it done. So number 7, document everything. I mentioned that just a minute. And delegate where possible. I don't have to do everything. Somebody else can do this. Somebody else can do it well and possibly even better than I can. So do what I do well and let them do what they do well. And don't micromanage. I personally do not like to be micromanaged. So I micromanage other people. That's not good for me either. And then number 8 is to remember to express gratitude and celebrate each step along the way. So these tips to overcome imposter syndrome are helping me. I'd love to hear your imposter syndrome stories and how you're overcoming them for you in your line of work. For me, this blog post was recently updated. I've been practicing my own SEO preaching and going back in and making sure that I've got my headlines optimized, that I've got my H1 tags and my H2 tags optimized and in the proper order. So I've made some improvements, making sure that my keyword was represented nicely within the article and not over adding it in places where it didn't really need to be. And then I did my call to action at the end. Today that call to action is for those free articles, and I will change this up because she's not going to be offering these free for a long time. She only a couple more days, so I grab them when you can, and they're great articles. So use them, put them into an ebook for your clients, for your friends. Use them as an email series. Use them as blog posts. There's great help there. Just put your voice into them. Don't use them word for word. That's my recommendation. But it's quality content that you can use. So that's Alice Seba and her Done For You content, PLR with Publish for Prosperity. And all of us will be prosper as we get over our imposter syndrome. So that was Thursday's message. It was fun talking to you. Let me know if you've got anything that you need help with. I'd love to be your assistant and get that done for you. Take care.